Welcome to Shallow. Join us as we explore the topics that are always on our minds. From beauty and wellness trends to balancing our careers and ambitions, these conversations fill our WhatsApp inboxes and social media feeds. We're diving into pop culture and asking the question, is it really that deep?
This week, we're switching things up a bit. We've talked a lot about the mental toll of hair and skin conditions before, so if you haven't heard those episodes yet, go check them out. We'll link them below. We cover off subjects like acne, eczema, and alopecia. But today, we wanted to get a little bit more practical. We're sharing the beauty products and lifestyle changes that have actually made a difference for us. If you're struggling with similar issues or just looking for some solid product recommendations, we hope this episode helps. Let's go.
How have you been, Phoebe?
I'm good, thanks, Luce. Yeah, I've actually got a relevant recommendation for us today. If you haven't heard of Natalie O'Neill, she's a great creator. She's on TikTok, she's on Instagram, and she just gives such straightforward, no bullshit advice. And I think if there was a creator who has probably had the most positive impact on my skin, I'd say it's between her and Hirons, which we'll talk about later in the episode. But I feel like she's really honest, she's really straight down the line. She has amazing skin, but I really like her video content. I think she's very informative and I definitely recommend her.
What does she kind of recommend? Is it mainly skin or does she go to hair as well?
She's mainly skin, but I think she doesn't push these kind of like pseudoscience, like rhetoric. She's very like, I think her kind of tagline is like no bullshit skincare advice. It's something like that. And I think that's exactly what it is. She's very just like to the point. She's like, this is what you don't need. This is what you do need. This is what you should avoid. She kind of struggles with clog prone skin. And I don't have that issue, but I find that a lot of her advice is very universal and very like sound.
I'm going to give her a go because I have clog prone skin. So yeah, she sounds great. We have talked about the kind of mental toll of hair and skin conditions, you know, in previous episodes. We'll put a link in the description to those. If you want to go back and listen, I would recommend, you know, we really hit on some relatable things, I think. You know, me and Phoebe have been through the ringer with our hair and with our skin. So yeah, they're good ones to listen to if you're kind of going through something similar, whether that's acne, eczema, alopecia, etc. We kind of cover all those topics. But today we did want to dive into something a little bit more practical. So we're going to share the go-to beauty products and lifestyles that have truly made the difference for us. You know, navigating our skin and hair issues has taught us just how challenging it can be to find that real effective product and reliable information online. You know, it's not the easiest to find and it's felt like a bit of a minefield at times.
It really has. I think you have to kind of kiss a few frogs to find the one, especially online, because there is a lot of bullshit out there. There's a lot of people kind of peddling their own narratives, trying to sell certain products. And I think you've got this like endless well of information online. And I found a lot of that really helpful throughout my skin journey, but also a lot of it can be very harmful and overwhelming. Yeah,
there's just so much out there and there's so many things like, you should do a 10-step routine. No, you should do a 1-step routine. No, you should do a 3-step routine. You should buy my 3-step routine. You know, there's a lot of this narrative and you know, when you've kind of figured out maybe what your skin likes, you know, sometimes it can kind of plateau and then you're kind of like, okay, I need to add something in here. I need to change something up. And then you've got all these options to choose from. And it's like, well, what do you choose?
Definitely. And there's also a lot of creators out there who are gorgeous and have incredible skin and maybe haven't gone through the trials and love you for that. Haven't gone through the like maybe trials and tribulations that, you know, someone with cystic acne might have or eczema or alopecia. And I think sometimes it's easy to get lost in this kind of I want to look like them and I want to be like them. And in reality, it's like, you know,
can't use it. And especially when it's things that are like maybe fragrance and they're like, oh my God, it smells amazing. It also does an amazing job and this and that. And I'm kind of like, I know if I use that, I'm going to get a rash. So,
something bad's going to happen.
You know, something bad's going to happen. And there's this kind of, especially with influencers, you know, to maybe no fault of their own, they're not as candid with maybe the ingredients list. They're just kind of like, this is my experience. I've used it for 2 weeks. This is what I found. And like considering your skin turnover is 6 weeks minimum, you know, sometimes it's just not long enough to kind of be promoting such items.
Definitely, like wood from the trees. It's quite hard online. But to start off with, Lucy, how high maintenance are you?
Oh my God, so high maintenance. It's actually ridiculous. I think, are we talking personality? Because she's up there. No, I am extremely high maintenance with my skin and my hair. You know, I suffer with bouts of bad skin, acne, you know, a little bit of dryness, you know, a bit combination. You know, I used to be very oily when I was a teen, and now I'm a bit more combination. And obviously your skin changes when you get older, so you've got to kind of find a new routine. And then I feel like every time when I'm kind of doing a skincare routine, it improves my skin to a point, and then I'm kind of like, I'll get kind of bored, and then I'll just try another product, and then I'll be like bored with that. And then, you know, I find it difficult to like stay with a foundation of like products. But I think I do know what my skin likes and doesn't like. You know, it doesn't like fragrances very much. It doesn't like things that are highly moisturizing. But obviously I suffer with a condition called alopecia areata, which is when you kind of lose small patches of hair across your head. You know, mine has, you know, fingers crossed will stay there, but has stayed localized to the back of my head in a specific area, and it does grow back. But it does mean that I can't like dye my hair or like put, you know, more toxic products on my hair that maybe have, you know, too many ingredients in it, or, you know, I can't, you know, use excessive heat because, you know, it could flare it, or, you know, there's a lot of things that go into my routine. We're sensitive girlies. How about you, Phoebe? Are you high maintenance? Are you?
To a degree, I think. I mean, yes. Like,
okay.
Who are we kidding?
Here I am, like, I'm so high maintenance. She's like, maybe
kind of. Well, I think like because I found my like routine, I guess as long as I stick to that, I'm kind of okay. But if I stray from it or there's a different environment, I think for me, so I have dry skin, I have eczema, and I have an array of allergies that I have to manage. And a lot of those allergies are environmental, so I don't have control over them. And that's where I get high maintenance, because I'm allergic to grass pollen and I get a contact allergy, which means like things like going to a festival or having a picnic or going for a walk can actually cause problems. And that's something that the everyday person often wouldn't blink twice about. But I get a really red, itchy rash all over my body that flares up instantly. So I kind of have to manage certain things in my environment. But I think if I can stick to a good routine, I've kind of learned how to manage that.
I think I also have that kind of thing. Like if I do stick to a routine, I notice that my skin is calmer, I'm calmer, I'm less high maintenance, I'm not stressed about my skin as much because it's calmer. So yeah, I think routine is key. I mean, you've helped me a lot with my skin over the years, and it was actually quite funny the other day because, you know, I do get flare-ups of like acne, and I was kind of like, you'd be like, stop picking your face. And I was actually in the bathroom, and, you know, I'm scared of Phoebe. And I was like picking a spot, and she's like in the doorway. She saw me, and I was like, I literally jumped on my skin. I was like, oh my God, she's here.
Appeared at the mirror like Bloody Mary and haunted Lucy.
Honestly,
for picking her face.
If you pick a spot 3 times, Phoebe will turn up in your mirror. That's how it works.
I used to be the worst face picker though, and it's given me acne scars. So I just like don't do it.
Not where I'm sitting. Phoebe has flawless skin at the moment. It's glowing.
It's very kind of you, Lucy. But I think, yeah, don't pick because it's going to make it worse. We briefly spoke about things we kind of avoid. For me, anything scented, anything citrus, anything essential oils, anything billed as like natural and clean is actually more irritating.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Skin.
It's like the essential oils thing. Like I go red, like blotchy. And like citrus, anything like vitamin C I find really hard to put on my skin. It always makes me itchy. It always makes me blotchy. I don't know why. It just hates vitamin C.
Can be quite an irritating active vitamin C. It took me a while to find one that agreed, and even now I can only use it once, maximum twice a week. But when it is agreeing, I do notice a difference very quickly. Like the glow really dials itself up. Is there anyone you go to for advice? Any creators you'd recommend? Any kind of go-tos?
I mean, I think Caroline Hirons, you did kind of briefly mention her at the top of the episode, but yeah, she's also kind of like a no bullshit skin girl, and her book, Caroline Hirons' Skincare, The Ultimate No-Nonsense Guide, is something that you recommended to me a couple of years ago, and I did mention it in the skin episode as well. And yeah, I really like that because I think I get overwhelmed with information, and she just seems like she's kind of laid it all out. She's not telling you to buy these fancy and expensive products. She's just like, these are the kind of basics that you need, you know, find them in these kind of brands. You know, I'm not telling you to buy this new product that costs a super expensive amount of money, but yeah, she's really good. How about you?
Same. I think I go to her probably moreover than anyone else. I think her app is actually great as well. There's a lot of knowledge, a lot of information on there. It's incredibly digestible. It's updated daily, if not weekly. And I would advise downloading that if you're interested in skin or you're interested in what products might suit your skin type. It's really, really helpful, and it's helped me a lot kind of cherry pick products that might suit my skin as well as kind of supplement that with information. But I think before we get to products themselves, I want to kind of talk about lifestyle changes, because we spoke in the skin episode about how lifestyle was consistently overlooked for both of our conditions. It was always like, what about this topical treatment? Have you thought about this? Have you thought about this cream? Rather than maybe viewing it as an inside out situation as well as outside in. Is there anything you've employed lifestyle wise that has helped your skin and hair?
Yeah, I would say, you know, I did briefly mention it, but I don't dye my hair. I used to be, you know, a bit of a balayage girly before I kind of, you know, got the bouts of hair loss, and I used to curl my hair like nobody's business. And, you know, since stopping curling my hair with an curling iron, I actually brought my waves back. Like, I have curly hair now. So I was just literally like, you know, it would be like if I didn't curl my hair, it would just go limp and straight. And obviously, you know, having these patches of hair loss, I was like, well, I'd just rather have limp and straight hair than, you know, potentially make this condition worse. So I stopped using excessive heat. You know, my curling tongs are really sad in the back of my jaw. And yeah, over the course of maybe like 12 months, my hair is now curly again and wavy, and it's got that wave that I had when I was younger. So I'm very pleased with that. You know, if anything else that has come out such a stressful, horrible situation, it's getting my curls back. But yeah, I don't put any kind of like silvery shampoos on them, or kind of like purple shampoos, like anything with like bleach in it, or, you know, something similar I know will irritate my scalp. It's just an absolute no. I think you could probably attest to this, but yeah, like exercising, you know, getting my endorphins going, upping my mood, because I think my acne as well will flare when I'm stressed or when I'm anxious, and, you know, anxiety just of course brings that down.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, anyone who knew me when I was like, I don't know, 14 to 25 knew that I would rather be anywhere than working out and exercising. But since I have made it more a part of my routine, I've definitely noticed like anxiety levels have gone down, and that henceforth those stress levels are lower, and I do feel like my skin does look better for it.
Yeah, I don't dry my face with a towel. This is a new thing that I've adopted, and it's worked a lot. I don't think I realised how much residue of like foundation and concealer was left on
Bacteria.
my face when I was just like rubbing my face in a dirty used towel. Disgusting.
Sexy. Yeah, please wash face towels or wash your flannels.
Yeah, or have like a different flannel every day, right? Which is something I might be adopting. But yeah, I just use like tissue or like dry my face, whatever. And it's helped calming my face down. It's good. But yeah, what about you? I know you have a few things.
Yeah, so I think it's going to make me sound very boring, but I think we found out alcohol was a really big trigger for me quite early on. And a lot of the time, it's just not worth it. There's definitely alcohols that are worse than others. So it's not like a total teetotal situation, but I definitely drink an awful lot less. And I only drink when my skin's in a good place. Similarly, caffeine, it's decaf only, it's once a day, and it's never on an empty stomach. And I also do try to eat a little bit less sugar as well.
What is worth living
Which
for?
is like
no alcohol, no caffeine, no sugar. What is it?
I do eat sugar, I promise you. I love sugar. I have such a sweet tooth.
I'm just kidding. There's more to life than those
swear.
3 things.
But I think turning those down a little bit has massively helped. I think, yeah, sugar, I don't know the science behind it, but there's a lot of inflammation. It's quite well known that it's not good for your skin, and especially eczema.
What is it good for? I mean, I love sugar, don't get me wrong, but like, what is it good for?
So tasty though, isn't it? And then I think one of the reasons why I've moved to a sunny country is getting safe sun and being in the sea.
Yeah, I would definitely second that. Like, I thrive in the sea. I don't know what it is, but my scalp loves it. My skin loves it. My skin loves the sun as well. Safe amount. I'm looking at my sun doctor.
The sun
from
officer
me.
over here.
I
go around like slathering everyone.
I love the sun. I mean, it was one of the reasons that I really loved, you know, I mentioned it in the skin episode. I really loved going on holiday as a kid because I knew for those like 2 weeks I would have clear skin. So I think that's why I kind of associate like warmer countries and the sunshine with kind of more of a positive outlook on life, and I feel a lot happier, and maybe that is a reason that my skin's better and my hair's better, but who knows. But yeah, I agree.
So moving on to kind of products, you mentioned hair, so let's go there. And won't you kick us off, because you are queen, glorious, thick hair gal.
Don't. Okay, my absolute number one that I've used since I was a child actually is Nizzerol. And this was actually a TikTok trend very recently, which actually made it sold out in pretty much every single pharmacy that I went into. So I've been using this for psoriasis. It's got an active steroid in it. I'm not going to say the name of it because I'll absolutely butcher it, but it's got 2% of this active steroid in it. And it helps basically with like fungal problems on your scalp, but it also helps with things like psoriasis. And this is something that I would use like twice a week, and it would kind of keep the psoriasis at bay. But it's also, you know, it came out on TikTok. It's actually very good for hair loss because it's got that active steroid in it. It's stimulating your hair follicles, and therefore they are growing more. It's just kind of what steroids do, right? This is why they prescribe steroids for things like alopecia, because, you know, the active ingredient stimulates hair growth. So yeah, that is something I use pretty much like twice a week. I use it on my alopecia patch, and I also use it all over my head. It is really good for that. It actually calms my scalp down. So if there's any kind of like inflammation on my scalp, it'll bring that right down. And yeah, it won't feel as like itchy. You know, if you've got like bouts of dandruff, it really helps for that. But yeah, this TikTok trend, it really, really angered me because I was just like, you know, it was just people who were like, oh, I just want a bit of thicker hair. And I'm like, oh, but I actually need this. I literally went from pharmacy to pharmacy, like, do you have Nizzerol? And I could almost see them like rolling their eyes because they must have just had all the TikTok girls in.
You were some TikTok
and I was like, no, I mean, Nizzerol for ages. But yeah, that's like my go-to. I think since they kind of sold out everywhere, they've had a bit of a rebrand. You know, they've got a few more products in their range. They must have had an absolute glow up. They're like, I'm absolutely making bank from this TikTok
because
trend.
It probably went from being this like very medicinal, if you needed it, you needed it. Not even if
your
you know,
doctor
you
prescribed
know.
it or, you know, mentioned it to you.
You required it. To this like, oh, now the girlies are all on it and you can't bloody buy it anywhere.
Yeah, crazy. I mean, another thing that I use as well is a red light therapy hat I actually use the one from Capitalus. So that's the red light laser therapy. I would very highly recommend looking that up just for anybody who might be having like slightly thinning hair, or if you're struggling with a genetic form of alopecia called androgenic alopecia. It's actually FDA approved for that. So it's actually the only form of alopecia that is FDA approved for. Obviously, I use it for alopecia areata, and I also use it for overall like hair health. I feel like if my head is feeling a bit itchy or it's a little bit flaky or there's some things going on, it brings it right down, it calms it down. You're actually supposed to see results within maybe a year. I think it's like 6 to 12 months. I mean, that's just standard for hair, right? You can't just expect results overnight. This is something that you just have to keep on keeping on and you know, using it day in, day out. But so far so good. I mean, my patch has grown back a lot quicker than it did last time. You know, I am using a combination of things. It's one of those like, you know, try all and maybe one will work. You know, like I use an oil that has like rosemary oil, castor oil in, you know, and that's very, you know, very good for hair growth. I also get steroid injections, you know, and I also use this light hat. So it's like I'm kind of trying them all, hoping one works, and, you know, hopefully they are all working. But I have noticed, as opposed to the last time I lost a bit of hair, this time it is growing a lot quicker.
That's really good. And kind of what's your shampoo and conditioner looking like?
So at the moment I'm using Aveeno. So I love Aveeno anyway, just for like skin. Like it's usually my go-to moisturizer. Also very good for psoriasis. It's, you know, they even put that on their packaging. It's got kind of oat.
It's like colloidal oat or something.
Yeah, it's got oats in it. It's got oats in it.
It's got oats in it, love.
It's got oats in it.
You're gonna love it.
Gonna love it. If you're a porridge girly, get on the Aveeno. So yeah, it's really calming, and I feel like it doesn't clog my pores. That's another thing. So anyway, back to the Aveeno shampoo and conditioner, which is what we're talking about. I found that that's really good. The only gripe I do have with it is that it's scented. So like I don't think it's harming my hair, but I feel like maybe I could get something which doesn't have scent in it for the future. You know, it's a bit on the cheaper side. I mean, it's like maybe £10-12 per bottle. That might be quite expensive to some people, but I do kind of invest in my hair care and my skincare. So, you know, it does the job, and it doesn't seem to flare anything up.
That's good. We like no flares. I'm with you on the unscented side of things. I use the Necessaire shampoo and conditioner unfragranced. But honorary mention to the Drunk Elephant glossing shampoo and Marula cream conditioner. Both of those are really good as well. I was going to ask you actually, are you a double shampoo girly?
I'm a double shampoo girly.
Yeah.
My hair doesn't take very long to get clean, but for some reason I just feel like it needs that second wash.
It makes such a difference. I don't know what it is about double shampooing. Someone let us know the science, but like the difference when I do it versus when I don't is like astronomical.
My hair gets way oilier, way quicker. And I have like, I think this is something that's also, you know, good to mention. I thought, you know, when they say you can train your hair to be less oily, it's just absolute bullshit.
It's bullshit. Yeah, you can't. Yeah,
it's just the way your hair is. Like, and I think for years I was like, oh, there's something wrong with my hair. It's getting oily too quick.
No, if it's oily, wash it.
And like, I started watching a few trichologists on like YouTube and various other websites, and turns out that you should wash your hair when it gets oily. Like, it is, you know, you end up like, if you're waiting it out,
make it worse.
You're clogging your pores, you're clogging your follicles, you're making it worse. You're not letting the nutrients get to your scalp. You're clogging your pores with oil. Some oil is good. It's good to keep your hair moisturized. And, you know, there is another thing where your roots get oily and your ends get dry, and that's another situation. But yeah, if you've tend to have like oily prone hair like me, like I wash my hair every other day. And that's just how I have to be, because otherwise I'll just go around looking like a chip pan.
And do you use kind of any masks or any oils to kind of finish that off?
Yeah, so I mean, I use Olaplex number 3, the classic. I use that on the ends. I don't like to get that anywhere near my scalp though, because I think it's quite harsh.
It's quite potent. Yeah, it's quite potent. Smell it.
Like I slept in it, right? They're not going to sponsor us for this, but I did sleep in it once and I got a rash on my face. So yeah, I just keep it to the ends, but it does do the work. It does make it feel a lot nicer. There's something that I use pretty much every day is Nuke's hair oil. That's like literally my go-to. Like I devour bottles of that all the time, and it's not too expensive. It's like £20. It's non-oil.
It's an oily oil.
It's a dry hair oil. Okay. So it's not going to cause you to break out. It doesn't cause me to break out along my hairline or anything. So I can then just scrunch it into my hair and I'm good to go.
It's not greasy.
It's not greasy, no. And you can also use it on your skin as like a moisturizer. They also do one that has like a little bit of a glitter tint in it. It's so nice.
I've seen that one.
But yeah, it doesn't have an overpowering smell. Like it's the best. I love it.
Nice. I use the Bedhead Resurrection Mask. It's really affordable and really, really good. Like I previously bleached the absolute living shit out of my hair, and I went through bottles of that stuff. I think coupled with the Olaplex number 3, it just made the Olaplex last longer, but just balanced it out, because you can use the Bedhead Resurrection one most times you wash your hair, or at least I did. It's just very moisturizing, like it just gets the moisture back into your hair and kind of seals the cuticle. And then I generally finish off with Moroccan oil, but again, similarly to you, only on the ends, because it is quite heavily fragranced and I don't want it touching my face.
So something new that I have actually started recently, so I can't like attest to whether it completely works, but I've heard a lot of good things, is shampoo.
It's spelled CHAMPO.
It's spelled CHAMPO, and it's a French brand, and there's a lot of good reviews about it helping people grow back their hair, like maybe if they're having a thinning hairline. And yeah, you just use it like once a day, and it's supposed to help your hair grow nice and thick. And I think it might have like some rosemary in it, you know, the usuals, castor oil, all that kind of stuff.
Sweet.
But it's got quite a lot of reviews and a lot of hype online, I think. Yeah, so it was Rosie Huntington Whiteley's recommendation actually, and they kind of like propelled the brand through her. But yeah, I've started using that. I'm going to see how it is, and maybe I'll update you on another episode.
Yeah, please do. I'd love to hear about that. So moving on to skin, let's talk about skin recommendations, tools, treatments, etc. What do you use kind of tools-wise, Luce? Have you got anything in your kit?
Hell yeah, I do. This is something that me and Phoebe like bought at the same time. We were like on this is another like on the same wavelength. We were gonna buy it at the same time, and I was like, oh, have you heard of this? And they were like, it was like a whole like brainwave movement. But we invested in a red and blue light therapy mask from Dr. Dennis Gross, who is a dermatologist from the States. And yeah, I think this was one of the most like OG like masks that came out, right?
It felt like one of the first that came like properly to mass market, that was like usable at home, out of clinic, out of salon. And it's the first one I remember hitting the market. Obviously now there is loads, but I think finding the red and the blue, which you don't get in a lot of the other ones.
Yeah, I think I bought mine for around £450, which is obviously not cheap, you know? This is something that I invested in because I feel like it's something I can use for a long time, and maybe the cost per use will outweigh the kind of price initially. That's my kind of hope anyway. I think what I've noticed from it so far is if I do have a flare up, or if my skin's looking a bit like red and a bit irritated, it will bring it down overnight. If I have a large spot on my face, it will bring that right down. It's great for that. And yeah, I think the longevity of it is it will improve your skin over time, but also prevent you from maybe getting fine lines quicker.
Yeah, it's, again, we're not skinfluencers, we don't know the science, but it's supposed to kind of help produce collagen and make fine lines appear reduced. I definitely have found that I've noticed a difference. I think my biggest thing is being consistent with it and making sure I'm using it every day, and often I forget. And I think if I stop using it, I do stop seeing the benefits of it.
I think moving on to one of the biggest products that we use.
Oh my God.
Miss Dermal.
I don't know what they lace this product with. It's, I think you get it over the counter back in the UK, or you can get it on prescription. Like Dermal, what are you doing?
I don't know, but it's I wash my face with it. You know, I wash my body with it. Like I wash my private parts with it. Like it is, you know that you have all these like pH balancing washes. You don't need them. All you need is Dermal. Like I will literally fill my like travel case with Dermal because it's just the best.
Any problem, Dermal's going to solve it.
Whack a bit of Dermal on it. You're feeling a bit stressed, whack a bit of Dermal on that stress.
I'm not sure if you should use it this liberally, but I continue to, because it is that thing that will continue to get my skin back to ground zero. I know it's not going to cause any problems. It will chill it out. I mean, like Dermal hits up, like I will take buckets of this stuff.
So it's an antimicrobial, emollient and moisturizer for the management of dry and pruritic itchy skin conditions. So it literally kind of just calms your skin, and also is antibacterial, which I think is really good for people who are suffering with bacterial acne, or, you know, maybe you're suffering with a bit of a fungal problem on your face, or eczema. Anything really. Like it is one of the best things that I use, and you can use it as a soap substitute, which is what I use it for, or you can actually use it as a moisturizer.
Can't say enough good things about it, and I will continue to use it everywhere all the time. And speaking of creams that have really helped my eczema, Annnnnd Cicaplast. If you've used the La Roche-Posay version, the Annnnnd one is also great. It's a very similar thing. I'd say the Cicaplast by Annnnnd is less balmy. It's a bit more creamy. It's very thick though. But if you do have troublesome, inflamed skin, it's also very affordable as well.
I also love their like spray mist, their like water mist. So good.
Really good.
Another one that we're both on the same page about is Aquaphor. Aquaphor is honestly, I feel like God created this and gave it to man, because it is absolutely amazing. It's the best.
Again, we'll solve any problem you have.
We'll solve any problem. So if, you know, I spoke about this in the skin episode, but I went on Roaccutane, also known as isotretinoin, and Aquaphor is like the number one thing that you buy. So you go and get your prescription, you also buy some Aquaphor, because your lips get dry, your face gets dry, you know, your entire body shrivels up basically. So, you know, Aquaphor is like a oily, how would you describe it?
It's an ointment.
There we go. It's an ointment. How would you describe this ointment? Yeah, it's great. It's great for your lips. Like I use it as like my base before I put like a lipstick on. And yeah, you can put it on if you've got a bit of a dry nose in the winter. Yeah, it's just the best. And you can get it in forms of like lip balm. You can get it in like a larger tube. It's great. I just always have one in my bag. I have like several of them just like dotted around my house.
Yeah, I use it all over. I mean, I get very dry lips. They're irritated very easily. Always have Aquaphor nearby. I definitely use it in the winter. Like I will use it all over my face to like lock in all my like creams and everything. Yeah, it's
yeah,
great.
especially like cracked. I get really bad cracked lips in the winter, and if I put a little bit of that on, it's amazing. I mean, I know, you know, if you've got a cracked lip, you go to like Vaseline and stuff, which makes it worse like a lot of the time, whereas Aquaphor always like makes it better.
It's so good. And another product we're also really jointly loving as well is the Skin Rocks support oil. So I've been using this for a couple of months now and I'm really hooked and my bank balance is weeping, but I will continue to buy it because I was using squalane by The Ordinary before, so just a single product ingredient oil. So I was a little bit nervous stepping up to this kind of big ingredients list, but it's very calming, it's very good. There's no fragrance in it, there's no essential oils in it, there's no alcohol in it, and it's really helps calm my face and moisturize my skin. And I think you felt similarly. You only used it a couple of times, but every time you've woken up you've been glowing.
I have invested in it, and I find it very difficult to find a face oil that doesn't make me break out, and this has not made me break out. And oh my god, my skin looks great in the morning. Like I just feel like refreshed, like I don't have as many dark circles, like my skin looks a lot plumper and more alive, basically.
Juicy.
So far so good. Like I've ordered it, like I've splashed the cash, and you know, I don't think I'm gonna be sorry for that.
Yeah, no, I think you're gonna continue to love it. Also a bit of a weird kind of practice I do. It wasn't actually my invention. It's this girl called Josie. She's on TikTok. She basically got TSW, which is topical steroid withdrawal, which gives you kind of eczema-like symptoms. And she used Dead Sea Spa Magic Dead Sea bath salts. And she basically mixed it with water and salts and just like immersed her face in this bowl. And she said that it really helped calm her skin down. I was looking through TikTok when I was like in the pits of my skin problem, and I was like, fuck it, I'm going to give it a go. It's so good. Like genuinely, if I'm having a flare or even I'm just like, I can feel one coming on, if I do this, it will calm it down.
So it's called Dead Sea Spa Magic Dead Sea Bath Salts.
Yeah.
Try say that 3 more times.
Definitely not a mouthful. But yeah, credit to Josie. She smashed it. Yeah. Anything else you got to wrap up there?
I mean, other than just slathering my entire body in Aveeno, I think we're pretty much done with that. And now's the time for...
And what a pile of bollocks!
This is the time in the show where we just chat shit about something really insignificant that just fucks us off and makes us really mad. Phoebe, what have you got for us today?
Assumed service charge.
Oh my god, this one really riles me up as well.
Firstly, we don't live in America, right? Not that I agree with it, I think it's bollocks, but they are not paid. Like their minimum wage, the way that system is built means that
they don't get paid if they don't get tips. It's
essentially, yeah, it's fucked. That being said, in the lovely country of the UK, we do have a minimum wage.
Yep.
And I'm not against tipping at all. If someone's done a great job, absolutely tip them. I think what I really dislike is when it's chucked on your bill, no one's told you anything about it, and the service has been dog shit. And this happens quite a lot. This happened when we were going out, and then you ask them politely to remove it because it's not a legal requirement that you have to pay service charge in the UK, at least isn't to my knowledge. And then they start an argument with you.
Yeah, and they're like, well, why would you take it off? Blah, blah, blah. And yeah, and also it's really embarrassing when that happens. Like, and when it just comes up on the screen and they're like, so which one are you going to pick? 10%, 5%, 20%? Or no?
Or were you a stingy fuck?
Well, I prefer if there was the button for the no. Because like a lot of times it's just added anyway and they don't even ask you.
Yeah.
And that is, I hate that. I really hate that. And my kind of, the way I think of it is, and I've worked in shops, I've worked in retail, I've worked in cafes. Like I'm not just talking from a high pedestal of, oh, I can't believe this. But you know, you don't expect to work in like Sainsbury's and then get a tip for putting someone's like shopping through, and they're getting paid a similar wage to somebody in a cafe. So like, why do you get a 12.5% service charge
100%.
for absolutely anything you do?
And like also retail and hospitality, we've both worked in it, is hard work. People can be pretty horrible, and it is
And they can in retail.
Yeah, and it is a rough gig at times. And if someone has done a good job, absolutely get a tip. But I know back in my day, well, back when I was waitressing, you only got a tip if you did like an incredible job that day and someone was feeling generous.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like,
Not expected.
that was it. You had your wage and that's what you took home. Whereas now it's like the restaurant.
It's like America.
Yeah. It's like, it's 12.5% minimum. And if there's like 4 of you and I don't know, it's gone to like triple
Over 100,
figures,
yeah.
then that's going to be quite a bit of money. Ask me, please.
Thanks so much for listening to Shallow. If you enjoyed this episode, we'd love it if you could leave us a review. It makes a really huge difference in helping others discover the podcast. We always want to hear from you, so feel free to slide into our DMs, send us a bell, or follow us on Instagram at shallowpod, or send us an email at shallow@boxedoff.net. Shallow is a Boxed Off production, written and hosted by Lucy Bell and Phoebe Whittle. We'll see you next time.